Another review. This time I played with black. A good accuracy of 87%, but a performance rated above 2000. But as you can see, a mistake, a missed key move, and a big blunder that could have costed me the game. So let's see what happened. I play with black, the opponent starts with e4, e4, e6, f3, d5, e pawn takes in d5, I take back in d5. This is the French defense knight variation, and here we are out of theory because white decides to develop the bishop with this check with bishop in b5. I can simply advance my pawn in c6. Here I'm blocking the check and I'm attacking the bishop. Bishop has to go back, goes in a4, and here I can develop my bishop in d6. Castle by white castles. I develop my light square bishop in e6. Here I didn't play here the suggested move is bishop in g4, pinning the knight, but here I was worried about this one, even if it's a good way to develop my knight. I develop my knight instead in f6, that calls the bishop in g5, pinning the knight to the queen. I kick the bishop, I castle, white plays knight in e5, and I develop my knight in d7. Pawn in f4. This move can cause a lot of troubles because now that d4 pawn is pinned and I can use this pin to gain something. So I move my queen to b6, and here I'm attacking the pawn in b2, and I'm also pinning that pawn to the king. The bishop moves in b3, not a very good move. And now here I decided to take with the bishop. And here my idea was the following, that if I take with the knight, I was worried about this one. Okay, I can escape, and after this I have this. I have this fork, and the queen has to move. I have these, and I'm so much better. So instead I decided to take with my bishop, and now I can escape with my knight. Not the best square, because with the knight here I can threaten the fork in f3. So, but I liked the outpost of the the knight protected by the d5 pawn. Here white develops the knight in c3. I decided to take. White takes back with a pawn, and now I can capture the e5 pawn because, as I told you before, that d4 pawn is pinned. Here I have to be careful because I know that I mean, now the position is tricky because this pawn can't capture the knight because there is the queen here pinning the pawn to the king. However, here I have the rook attacking x-ray my queen, and as soon as this bishop moves, I am attacked by the rook and I have to move my queen. So here probably the best move was to play this. No. Right. So I decided to play... Oh, I could have... Yeah. Here I saw only the fork here. What was the best move here? I played this. The best move was this one. Because after this... What? What? The position is equal, but I don't know. So instead I played this. After this I moved here my queen in a5, and here okay, and here I lose if white plays correctly, I'm losing a piece because after this if I capture, then the knight falls, and after this it's a total mess. Luckily white didn't miss that move, puts his bishop back to f3, and now I have this fork. The queen moves, I can capture the rook with my knight, white captures back with the king. Now I attack the queen with my light square bishop, the queen moves, and I capture the a2 pawn. The rook moves to protect the c2 pawn. I activate my rook here, pawn in g4 attacking my bishop. The bishop has to go back. Probably here the best move was to force that trade between bishops. Bishop in g3, queen in c4 check. Covered by... Here my idea was, I saw that move, but my idea was to then move my queen here and go to h1, but the king moved to g1. Now I'm attacking the bishop with my queen and my rook. And here white tries to interpose the bishop between my queen and my rook, but I can kick it using the f-pawn. Check with bishop in c4, I can block with the bishop, White decides to trade. I capture back with the king. The bishop moves back, and I can capture this pawn. And now watch out, because that dark square bishop is pinned to the king, and so can't cover the critical square e1. So here white advances the pawn in d5. I put my rook in front of the pawn, so that if the pawn captures, the rook is going to fall. He advances the pawn to d6, and here I'm attacking the rook. I'm attacking the queen with rook in e2. The queen has to move, but now I can double the rooks. White moves the rook in d1, but now there is this, I can trade the rooks, and so a rook in e1, rook takes, and here I can force the exchange of queens. So queen in e2, queen takes, rook takes with check, king in f3, and I can capture the pawn in c2. I'm not worried about the pawn in d6 because I can get closer with my king and capture it when it as soon as it goes to d7. So here the bishop moves to defend the pawn in c3. I get closer with the king, and this is game over, because I have a pawn majority both on the king's side and on the queen's side, and I also have one rook against the bishop. So another win. Things to learn from this game, I guess. Here okay, here this is a critical moment of the game, and I spent as you can see from the clock in the clock, I spent only 20 seconds thinking about that move. So I should have probably be more careful with that move, and think of it and think about it a couple of seconds more at least. And that was the main lesson from this game. So let's see you in the next one. Ciao ciao.